I volunteer at the local shelter. I volunteer at the local shelter.
Community service builds strong bonds. Community service builds strong bonds.
I attend neighborhood meetings regularly. I attend neighborhood meetings regularly.
I support local charity events. I support local charity events.
I participate in community cleanups. I participate in community cleanups. I help organize local festivals. I help organize local festivals. My community is vibrant and diverse. My community is vibrant and diverse. I enjoy cultural celebrations in my neighborhood. I enjoy cultural celebrations in my neighborhood. I support local businesses. I support local businesses. I contribute to community improvement projects. I contribute to community improvement projects. I engage in neighborhood watch programs. I engage in neighborhood watch programs. I take part in community fundraisers. I take part in community fundraisers. I encourage civic participation. I encourage civic participation. I work with local leaders for community change. I work with local leaders for community change. I support initiatives that promote social justice. I support initiatives that promote social justice. I attend public forums on local issues. I attend public forums on local issues. I participate in city council meetings. I participate in city council meetings. I collaborate with neighbors to solve local problems. I collaborate with neighbors to solve local problems. I help organize local sports events. I help organize local sports events. I volunteer at community centers. I volunteer at community centers. I support local art and music events. I support local art and music events. I take pride in my neighborhood. I take pride in my neighborhood. I contribute to community gardens. I contribute to community gardens. I help maintain public parks. I help maintain public parks. I encourage community volunteerism. I encourage community volunteerism. I participate in local environmental projects. I participate in local environmental projects. I support public education initiatives. I support public education initiatives. I join community outreach programs. I join community outreach programs.
I help organize charity runs. I help organize charity runs.
I participate in local cultural exchanges. I participate in local cultural exchanges.
I support neighborhood safety programs. I support neighborhood safety programs.
I help raise awareness on community issues. I help raise awareness on community issues.
I enjoy community potluck dinners. I enjoy community potluck dinners.
I take part in local heritage celebrations. I take part in local heritage celebrations. I support community health programs. I support community health programs.
I volunteer for disaster relief in my area. I volunteer for disaster relief in my area.
I help build community centers. I help build community centers.
I support local libraries and learning programs. I support local libraries and learning programs.
I collaborate with community activists. I collaborate with community activists.
I participate in local mentorship programs. I participate in local mentorship programs.
I support efforts to reduce local pollution. I support efforts to reduce local pollution.
I help organize recycling drives. I help organize recycling drives.
I join community improvement committees. I join community improvement committees.
I support initiatives for affordable housing. I support initiatives for affordable housing.
I work with neighbors to beautify our streets. I work with neighbors to beautify our streets.
I volunteer at local food banks. I volunteer at local food banks.
I help raise funds for community projects. I help raise funds for community projects.
I participate in local charity auctions. I participate in local charity auctions.
I support social services in my community. I support social services in my community.
I enjoy attending community picnics. I enjoy attending community picnics.
I participate in local youth programs. I participate in local youth programs.
I volunteer at community outreach events. I volunteer at community outreach events.
I support initiatives for public transportation. I support initiatives for public transportation.
I help organize local volunteer drives. I help organize local volunteer drives.
I participate in community art projects. I participate in community art projects. I support neighborhood cultural clubs. I support neighborhood cultural clubs. I contribute to local historical preservation. I contribute to local historical preservation. I volunteer for community disaster preparedness. I volunteer for community disaster preparedness. I support community-based learning. I support community-based learning. I enjoy neighborhood block parties. I enjoy neighborhood block parties. I join local civic groups. I join local civic groups. I support efforts for clean community water. I support efforts for clean community water. I help organize local volunteer teams. I help organize local volunteer teams. I participate in community fundraising events. I participate in community fundraising events. I support public safety awareness campaigns. I support public safety awareness campaigns. I join local advocacy groups. I join local advocacy groups. I help coordinate community sports leagues. I help coordinate community sports leagues. I support community wellness programs. I support community wellness programs. I participate in neighborhood improvement initiatives. I participate in neighborhood improvement initiatives. I help organize charity concerts. I help organize charity concerts. I support local nonprofit organizations. I support local nonprofit organizations. I volunteer to mentor local youth. I volunteer to mentor local youth. I help host community forums. I help host community forums. I support local public art projects. I support local public art projects. I participate in community recycling programs. I participate in community recycling programs. I contribute to neighborhood beautification efforts. I contribute to neighborhood beautification efforts. I help organize community volunteer fairs. I help organize community volunteer fairs. I support efforts to increase civic engagement. I support efforts to increase civic engagement.
I participate in local leadership training. I participate in local leadership training.
I help with community emergency preparedness. I help with community emergency preparedness.
I support local sustainability projects. I support local sustainability projects.
I join community social clubs. I join community social clubs.
I volunteer at local community events. I volunteer at local community events.
I support initiatives for community inclusion. I support initiatives for community inclusion. I participate in public policy discussions. I participate in public policy discussions.
I help organize neighborhood celebrations. I help organize neighborhood celebrations.
I support community mental health programs. I support community mental health programs.
I volunteer for local civic improvement. I volunteer for local civic improvement.
I participate in neighborhood cleanup days. I participate in neighborhood cleanup days.
I support efforts to enhance community living. I support efforts to enhance community living.
I help coordinate community workshops. I help coordinate community workshops.
I participate in local volunteer initiatives. I participate in local volunteer initiatives.